I don't need them since I already have
questions.
copies. Thank you.
We have chapter 6 and 7. So the first one for chapter 6 is, what does Gatsby and Tom's first meeting reveal about their views towards one another and their relationship in general? And for chapter 7, our two questions are, why did Gatsby's emotions get out of hand when Tom revealed the truth about how Gatsby got his money? And how does Gatsby's social class in the past and present affect his actions? Those two questions kind of go together.
Rumors of how Gatsby earns his money is like spreading around like a fire. Gatsby was born and raised in a farm in North Dakota. His parents were unsuccessful farm people and he was ashamed of them. After a couple of years, he ended up attending St. Olaf's College. While working as a janitor to help pay for his tuition, he soon gave up the job and left the college for his job was very embarrassing. The following summer, while working in the lake, he saw a local wealthy copper owner and rode out to warn him of a storm coming. The copper owner named Dan Cody took a liking to him and he asked for his name. He said his name was J. Gatsby. Gatsby soon became his assistant on the yacht and learned from him. They went to the Barbary Coast and the West Indies, and Gatsby fell in love with the money and luxury. It is from Cody that Gatsby inherited $25,000, but Cody's mistress prevented him from taking the money, and so Gatsby decided to become a wealthy and successful businessman like Cody.
Nick hasn't seen Gatsby for several weeks now, so he decides to go visit him. Nick and Gatsby sees that a lady, Mr. Salone, and Tom are on horseback. Gatsby invites them to sit down and have tea.
I'm delighted to see you. I'm delighted that you dropped in. Sit right down. Have a cigarette. Have a cigar. I have something to drink before you come in.
They all have a friendly conversation, but there was indeed tension between Gatsby and Tom. Mr. Salone seemed to have a disliking towards Gatsby, but the woman invited Nick and Gatsby to supper anyway. While Nick turned down the offer, Gatsby decided to accept the invite. He wanted to see more of Tom.
My God, I believe the man's coming. Doesn't he know she doesn't want him?
She said she does want him.
She has a bigger dinner party, and he won't know it's so there. Wonder where the devil he met. Yeah, Daisy, by God, I may be old-fashioned in my days, but women run around too much these days to suit me. They meet all kinds of crazy fish.
Tom clearly didn't like the fact that Gatsby was coming. Mr. Salone, Tom, and the lady left on their horses because they feared that they were going to be late. Gatsby rode alone in his car since he didn't own a horse. It was obvious Tom was upset and worried that Gatsby was running around alone. Therefore, he decided to go to Gatsby's party with him.
He's getting excited. Look around. I'm looking around. I'm having a marvelous. You must see the faces of many people you heard about.
We don't go around much. In fact, I was just thinking, I don't know a soul here.
Man, didn't even know we're here. Is her direct? I've never been so nervous.
Gatsby and Daisy danced for a few minutes and then they sat down. Nick also sat with them for dinner. They sat in a rather tipsy table. Daisy is having an unpleasant time.
Do you mind if I eat with some people over here and fellows getting off some funny stuff?
Go ahead. And if you want to take down any addresses, here's my little gold pencil.
Gatsby anyway? Some big bootlegger?
Where'd you hear that?
I didn't hear, I imagined. A lot of these newly rich people are just big bootleggers, you know?
Not Gatsby.
Well, he certainly must have strained himself to get this menagerie together.
At least you're more interested in the people we know.
You didn't look so interested.
Well, I was.
Tom laughed and turned to Nick.
Lots of people come who haven't been invited. That girl hasn't been invited. They simply forced their way in, and he's too polite to object.
I'd like to know who he is and what he does. I'll make a point of finding out.
I can tell you right now, he owns some drugstores, a lot of drugstores. He built them up himself.
The limo came to pick them up.
Good night, Nick.
Gatsby asked Nick to wait for him until he had free time.
She didn't like it.
Of course she did.
She didn't like it. She didn't have a good time. I feel far away from her. It's hard to make her understand.
You mean about the dance?
I just sport the dance is unimportant.
Gatsby wanted Daisy to just tell Tom that she had never loved him.
And she doesn't understand. She used to be able to understand. We'd sit there for hours.
I wouldn't ask much of her. You can't repeat the past.
Can't repeat the past. Well, of course you can. I'm going to fix everything just the way it was before. She'll see.
Gatsby always talked about his past, trying to find out the reasons why he had loved Daisy so much. One time, Gatsby had met up with Daisy and walked down the street where they stopped and turned towards each other. Gatsby's heart beat faster as Daisy's pale face came up to his own, waiting for a moment before he finally kissed her. His life had been confused since then. It seems as if he wanted to recover something, some idea of himself. If he could return to the past, then he could find out what that thing was. Chapter 7.
Gatsby hasn't hosted a party in a while. People show up to his house in the car unexpectedly, only to be pulling out of the driveway smoothly. Nick wonders if he is sick and decides to go find out. He knocks on the door and Gatsby's butler opens it.
Is Mr. Gatsby sick?
Nope.
I hadn't seen him around and I was rather worried. Tell him Mr. Caraway came over.
Alright, I'll tell him.
Okay, next day Gatsby called Nick's phone.
Going away?
No, sport.
I hear you fired on your servants.
I wanted somebody who wouldn't gossip. Daisy comes over quite often in the afternoons.
Gatsby called Nick upon Daisy's request, asking if he could come over to her house for lunch tomorrow. Nick agrees. It's the next day, and Gatsby and Nick are by Daisy's door, waiting for the butlers to open it for them. They hear a loud noise inside, and everyone is constantly screaming the word hot. One of the butlers finally opens the door.
Madam expects you in the salon.
We can't move!
And Mr. Thomas Buchanan, the athlete?
The rumor is that Tom's girl's on the phone.
Very well then. Then I won't sell you the car at all. I'm under no obligation to you at all. And as for you bothering me about it at lunchtime, I won't stand that at all.
Hold it down, the receiver.
No, he's not. He's a bona fide deal. I happen to know that.
Mr. Gatsby, I'm glad to see you, sir.
Make us a cold
Nick?
drink. Make us a cold drink. You know I love you.
What a low, vulgar girl.
I don't care. Blessed precious. Come to your own mother that loves you. The blessed precious stand up now and say, how do we do?
I got dressed before lunch.
That's because your mother wanted to show you off. You dream. You absolute little dream.
Oh, Jordan's got on a white dress too.
She doesn't look like her father. She looks like me. She's got blonde hair, black shape in the face. Goodbye, sweetheart.
Tom comes back with drinks. There is tension in the air between Gatsby and Tom.
They say I look cool.
Tom talked about the sun, about how the sun is getting hotter every day.
Come outside. I'd like you to have a look at the place.
They went out to the veranda.
I'm right across from you.
So you are.
What? What do we do with ourselves this afternoon? And then after that, in the next 30 years.
Don't be morbid. Life starts all over again when it gets crisp in the fall.
But it's so hot, and everything's so confused. Let's all go to town.
I heard of making a garage out of a stable, but I'm not the first man who ever made a stable out of a garage.
Who wants to go to town? Ah, you look so cool. You always look so cool. You resemble the advertisement of the man. You know the advertisement of the man?
All right, I'm perfectly willing to go to town. Come on, we're all going to town. Come on, what's the matter? Anyhow, if we're going to town, let's start.
Are we just gonna go like this? Are we gonna let anyone smoke a cigarette first?
Everybody smoked all through lunch.
Oh, let's have fun. I still have to fuss. Have it your own way. Come on, Jordan.
But
The men wait for the ladies upstairs as they get ready to go out. There is an awkward silence between Gatsby and Tom. Gatsby attempts to make a conversation with Tom by turning to him to ask a question.
Have you got your stables here?
about a quarter of a mile down the road.
Oh.
I don't see the idea of going to town. When we get these notions in their heads,
Should we take anything to drink?
I'll get some whiskey.
I can't say anything in this household, sport.
She's got an industry voice. It's full of.
Her voice is full of money. Shall we go in my car?
Will you take my coat and let me drive your car to town?
I don't think there's much gas.
Plenty of gas, and it runs out. I can stop at the drugstore. You can buy anything at a drugstore nowadays. Come on, Daisy. I'll take you to this circus wagon.
You take me to Jordan. We'll follow you in the coupe.
Did you see that?
See what?
You think I'm pretty dumb, don't you? Perhaps I am, but I have almost a second sight. Sometimes that tells me what to do. Maybe you don't believe that, but science. I made a small investigation of this fellow. Could have gone in deeper if I'd known.
Do you mean you've been to a medium?
What? A medium?
About Gatsby.
About Gatsby? No, I haven't. I said I've been making a small investigation of his past.
And you found out he was an Oxford man.
An Oxford man? Like hell he is. He wears a pink suit.
Nevertheless, he's an Oxford man.
Oxford, New Mexico, or something like that.
Listen, Tom, if you're such a snob, why don't you just invite him to lunch?
Daisy invited him. She knew him before we were married. God knows where. We got enough to get to town.
But there's a garage right here. I don't want to get stalled with dating tea.
Wilson, the owner of the gasoline stand, comes out.
Let's have some gas then. Why do you think we stopped for to admire the view?
I'm sick, been sick all day.
What's the matter?
I'm all run down.
Well, shall I help myself? You sounded well on the phone.
I didn't mean to interrupt your lunch, but I need money pretty bad. And I was wondering what you were going to do with your old car.
How do you like this one? I bought it last week.
It's a nice yellow one.
Like to buy it?
No, but I could make some money on the other.
What do you want money for all of a sudden?
I've been here too long. I want to get away. My wife and I want to go west.
Your wife does?
She's been talking about it for 10 years, and now she's going whether she wants to or not. I'm going to get her away.
They see Daisy and Jackie's car flew by that moment.
What do I owe you?
$1.20.
I'll let you have the car. I'll send it over tomorrow afternoon.
While these fellows continue to talk and fill up their gas, Myrtle Wilson, Wilson's wife, is observing them and looking at Jordan with jealousy. She thinks that Jordan is Tom's wife. As Tom and his crew drive away to New York City, Tom realizes that both his wife and his mistress are slowly slipping away from his grasp. This prompts him to drive faster so he can catch up to Daisy and Gatsby.
I love New York on summer afternoons when everyone's away. There's something very sensuous about it. Overripe, as if all sorts of funny fruits were going to fall into your hands.
Where are we going?
How about the movies?
It's so hot. You go. We'll ride around and meet you after. We'll meet you on some corner. I'll be the man smoking 2 cigarettes.
We can't argue about it here. You follow me to the south side of Central Park, in front of the plaza.
As they travel, Tom turns back his head to look at Daisy and Gatsby several times, afraid that they might just turn around and drive out his life forever. But they didn't, and everyone stopped at the parlor of Gatsby in the plaza.
Open another window. Open another window.
There aren't any more.
Well, we better telephone for an ex.
The thing is to do is to forget about the heat. You make it 10 times worse by crabbing about it.
Why not let her alone, old sport? You're the one that wanted to come to town.
That's a great expression of yours, isn't it?
What is?
All this old sport business? Where'd you pick that up from?
Now sit here, Tom. If you want to make personal remarks, I won't stay here a minute. Call up and order some ice with a mint. Gillette, man.
Tom sells a drink to Gatsby. Daisy starts up the conversation about a name named Bioloxy. They talk about it for a while, and the conversation is back to Gatsby.
By the way, Mr. Gatsby, I heard you're an Oxford man?
Not exactly.
Oh, yes. I heard you went to Oxford.
Yes, I went there.
You must have gone there about the time Bellox went to New Haven?
I told you I went there.
I heard, but I'd like to know when.
It was 1919. I only stayed 5 months. That's why I can't really call myself an Oxford man. It was an opportunity. They gave to some of the officers after the ROTC. We could go to any of the universities in England or France. Open the whiskey, Tom, and you make the men julep. Then you won't seem so stupid to yourself. Look at the mint. Wait a minute. I want to ask Mr. Gatsby one more question. Go on.
What kind of row are you trying to cause in the house anyhow?
You think you can do it? He isn't causing a row. You're causing a row. Please have a little self-control.
Self-control? I suppose the latest thing is to sit back and let Mr. Nobody from nowhere make love to your wife? Well, if that's the idea, you can't count on me out. Nowadays, people begin by sneering at a family life and family institutions. And next, they'll throw everything overboard and have intermarriage between black and white. I know I'm not very popular. I don't give big parties. I suppose you got to make your house into the biggest in order to have friends in the modern world.
I got something to tell you, old sport. Please don't. Please, let's all go home.
Yeah,
We all go home.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Come on, Tom. Nobody wants to drink.
I want to know what Mr. Gatsby has to tell me.
Your wife doesn't love you. She never loved you. She loves me.
You must be crazy.
She never loved you. Did you hear? She only married you because I was poor and she was tired of waiting for me. It was a terrible mistake, but in her heart, she never loved anyone except me.
Sit down, Daisy. What's been going on? I want to hear all about it.
I told you what's been going on. Going on for 5 years. You didn't know?
You've been seeing this fellow for 5 years?
Not seeing, no. We couldn't meet. But both of us loved each other all the time, old sport. You didn't know. I used to laugh sometimes to think that you didn't know.
Oh, that's all? You're crazy. I can't speak about what happened 5 years ago because I didn't know Daisy then. And I'll be damned if I see how you got within a mile of her unless you brought the groceries to the back door. For all the rest of that goddamn lie, Daisy loved me when she married me, and she loves me now.
No.
Yeah, she does. No, the problem is that sometimes she gets foolish ideas in her head and doesn't know what she's doing. And what's more, I love Daisy too. Once in a while I go off in a spree and make a fool of myself, but I always come back. In my heart, I love her all the time.
Daisy, that's all over now. It doesn't matter anymore. You're telling the truth. That you never loved him. And it's all wiped out forever.
What? How could I love him? Positive?
You never loved him.
I never loved him.
Not at Kaploon?
No.
Not the day I carried you down from the punch bowl to keep your shoes dry, Daisy?
Please don't. Yes, Jake. Oh, you want too much? I love you now. Isn't that enough? I can't help what's past. I did love her once, but I love you too.
You love me too?
Even that's a lie. She didn't know you were alive. Why, there's things between Daisy and me that you'll never know. And things that neither of us can ever forget.
I want to speak Daisy alone. She's all excited.
Even though I can't say I never loved Tom, it would have been true.
Of course it wouldn't.
As if it mattered to you.
Of course it matters. I'm gonna take better care of you from now on.
You don't understand. You're not going to take care of her anymore.
I'm not? Why is that?
Daisy's leaving with me.
Nonsense.
I am though.
She's not leaving. She's not leaving. Except for some commonwealth. Somebody like you who have sealed the ring you put on her finger.
I won't stand this. Oh please, let's get out.
Who are you anyhow? You're one of that bunch that hangs around with Myrtle Bushman. That much I can happen to know. I made a little investigation in your affairs, and I'll carry it further tomorrow.
You can suit yourself about that old sport.
I found out what your drugstores were. He and Wolfsman brought up a